there, my name is Leslie and welcome to my channel. Alright, so today I'm doing a crafting video. I am going to be doing some miniatures. I am going to be making a miniature of Bella. If you don't know who Bella is, she is my stuffed animal bunny character. She's kind of like a mascot for me, I've made a couple of other videos about her. So along with the miniature Bella, I am also going to be making this little miniature scene that I found at Michael's. It is the Sunshine Town 3D creative bookends. Anyway, it looked cute and complicated, and I'm really bad at following written directions, so we'll see how this goes. So let's start with the little Bella. I ended up getting this miniature off of AliExpress, and sadly it is no longer listed, or I would have linked it in the bio. I loved that it had so many little joints, and I think the proportions aren't too off from Bella. I was a little concerned about the paint sticking to the plastic surface, but it ended up not being a problem. It was difficult finding a way to hold on to this while painting. I don't have a ton of experience painting miniatures, so it was a struggle. I did decide to use a sewing needle to paint on all of her little details, just because I don't have anything else that's small enough to paint them on, and it really was difficult. I kept having to paint over with the pink, trying to fix it. It was pretty hard. Even though it was tedious, I do think it was totally worth it. I think she turned out very, very cute, and I'm really happy to have a little miniature of her. I'm just finishing off adding the little black stitches, and she looks so cute. It turned out way better than I was expecting, and I love that I can still move her joints, and the paint didn't have a problem sticking to her. I'm so proud of her. She looks so good. Now it's time to work on the bookend thingy, and I was immediately intimidated. I'm not the best at following instruction booklets, but this one was particularly annoying to follow. I knew from the get-go that this video wasn't going to be a tutorial on this kit, and that I was probably going to simplify it, because I really wanted to get this done in one day, and this was quite a big project to do. I've only done one other miniature project like this before, and it was a couple of years ago. It was a little like Altoid tin type miniature. I'll put a picture of it up on the screen, and I completely failed at doing it. I completely messed it up. I don't exactly know where I went wrong, but it ended up going in the trash, and I was very disappointed. And so I tried very hard to make this look good, and while I do think it looks very cute, it definitely didn't turn out like the picture. And that is 100% my fault. If you are incredible at following those like picture instructions that have no words, you probably could have made it look exactly like the box, but I'm not good at it. I rush through things and make tons of mistakes, and then I don't know. I'm not great at these. I was determined to make something that looked kind of cute, and just make something that Bella could live in, that would look cute on my shelf, and I do think I succeeded, but I will tell you how the process went, and maybe give you some tips if you decide to do one of these. So one of the complaints I do have about this kit is something that's pretty standard with DIY kits. I was very annoyed with the little pieces that you would punch out. Like, you would have a sheet of little small wooden pieces that you would punch out and glue together, and alongside all of the little pieces would be a number that corresponded with it. But the number would not be written on the actual piece, of course, because you don't want that number showing up on the final product. However, whenever you would punch one thing out, whatever was close to it was going to fall out as well. And then you would no longer know what number that was, or what piece it was. And so I often ended up losing pieces. This definitely becomes a big problem at the end, and I will point out why when we get to it. So now I'm putting together the little battery box because it does have lighting. However, I could not for the life of me figure out how to put the lighting together just based off of the instructions. The pictures weren't telling me anything, and I just could not figure it out. And to be honest, I didn't really want to go through the trouble of Googling it and watching a tutorial. I was just kind of like, this doesn't need lights. I probably could have taken the time to look up a tutorial, and it would have ended up looking better, but I honestly didn't want to. I was lazy. I think the number one tip I would give someone who's getting one of these kits is to look up a video tutorial. Even if you are really good at following the picture instruction booklets, I do think it is confusing, and it would turn out a lot better if you just watch someone doing it and watch the process, because it is a long booklet and it gets confusing looking at just the pictures. Another tip I would give is actually looking through the entire booklet and understanding how everything goes together before jumping right in. That is a mistake I made. I didn't really care about looking through the entire booklet and trying to follow the directions without actually doing it. I think it is important to look through the booklet and look at all of the steps beforehand, just to get an understanding of it. I think that would have helped me a lot, but I didn't want to. Definitely one of my flaws is wanting to just jump into a project without doing the necessary research. And I do think these types of kits shouldn't have a ton of research, and it should be just an easy craft. I mean, that's what I was expecting it to be. I mean, kind of. I knew it was going to be difficult and I was gonna mess it up. But this is something that I didn't really want to do research on. I just wanted to do it. But with lots of crafting things and lots of different projects, I tend to just jump right in and not do research, especially while doing the project. I just like to figure it out on my own. And what ends up happening is I make so many mistakes and I break so many things, and it just doesn't end up looking as good as it could have. And I need to work on that. As cute as this did turn out, I honestly think this type of craft just isn't for me. I do a ton of different crafting things, and just the looking through the booklet and trying to understand the steps just wasn't necessarily for me. I think I like having more creative control on things, and just having to follow all of those tedious directions just wasn't super relaxing for me. Don't get me wrong, I love the finished product, and I also love miniatures. I have a couple of different Sanrio remint rooms that I adore and I think are so cute. I just don't think the process of building this little miniature scene was for me, and I don't really see myself doing another one of these in the future. Now at this point in the project, I was done with it. I had spent several hours on this and I was ready to be done. I could see I was getting close to the final product, but in the booklet there were still so many steps, and I was kind of just thinking, what can I tweak to make this go faster? What details can I leave out so I can be done? And so I did leave out a lot of details. But I also left out a lot of details because some of the pieces went missing. They were so small they got punched out by accident, and I couldn't find them, or I just didn't know what the pieces were. And that was disappointing. Another tip I would give is definitely get some super glue. Not all of the pieces need super glue. It does come with like a standard white tacky glue, but a lot of the pieces have to be secured immediately and are pretty important for the structure, and that white tacky glue just isn't gonna cut it. You would have to wait for it to dry and hold it in place, and again, I was trying to make this go quickly. This is definitely not a quick craft, and I am a quick crafter. If I start super long projects, I will hyperfixate on it for a week, and then I will fall out of it, and it will never get done. It will sit in the corner of my room, and I will never finish that project. That's why I feel the need to finish projects in like a day. That way I can ensure that it'll actually get done. We are at the home stretch. I am gluing all of the final pieces together, and the really disappointing parts that I lost were the final pieces to attach the roof. And that was really disappointing. I didn't need a roof on it. It still looks good, but I lost the important pieces to be able to add the roof. But it's done, pretty much. So now before I add Bella to her new little home, just freeing up some space on my shelf, adding the little bookend, and I think it looks really cute. And I think Bella is the perfect size for it. I think all of the little details are really great, and yeah. Okay, so we're done. Bella turned out very cute. Honestly, a lot better than I thought she would. The bookend didn't really turn out like on the box, but I kind of expected that. Anyway, I really hope you liked this video. It was not a tutorial by any means. It was me just messing around, trying to make something look cute, and I think I still did. Like, it looks pretty cute right there. Anyway, I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!